Hey guys, this is Wildcat Chris Harris, TNA original and one half of 6-time TNA World Tag Team Champions, America's Most Wanted. You are listening to the TNA Cross the Line podcast.
TNA Wrestling, Cross the Line.
And we're back with episode 277 of the TNA Cross the Line podcast. I am Colling Jr. With me, as always, is Dallas Gridley. And Dallas, there's one thing in life that is not good. And that's keeping secrets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't keep any secrets from you. You don't keep any secrets from me. But unfortunately, we can't say the same for the Monster Abyss. Because he has kept a secret his entire life. And apparently, this week, Sting is going to be coming back from going into the public records and revealing why Abyss, also known as Chris Parks, went to jail for 7 years. What is the secret, Dallas? What did Abyss do?
I mean, that's the big question, right? I think the biggest question is why Sting didn't just go to the public records anyways, instead of just brutalizing Father James Mitchell. But you know what? Maybe he just didn't know his name yet, and we did find out the name technically. So it could have been that.
What kind of reporter is Mike Tenay to not do it either?
Mike Tenay should have figured this out. Okay.
I agree.
He knows everything. How could he have not figured this out yet?
Yeah. I totally. I mean, I'm kind of joking, but I'm also very serious. He easily could have just been like, oh, as a reporter, I figured it out, and this is what happened.
Right, you would think so. Yeah, it's quite the situation we're dealing with, and I what could Abyss have done? We've seen him in front of a prison, so he did something bad. Because it seems like his secret was that he was probably in prison, or at least the main part of that. Did he kill his family? Did he kill a lover? Should we do one of those?
I think it's identity theft.
Could be identity theft, and that's why he wears the mask.
Right.
Yeah, actually, that makes sense. Insurance fraud. It could be anything. He didn't pay his taxes for a couple of years. Well, anything is possible. And I can't wait to figure it out. And I'm sure we will be like, wow, really? But maybe we'll be stunned. Maybe we'll be shocked. But unfortunately, I do feel like stories like this in wrestling end up being kind of silly sometimes.
Yeah, because they never know what the secret's going to be. And they scramble. I think it would be insurance fraud, because I could see him, working a full-time job in TNA or whatever, or any wrestling buff prior to this is his side gig, and then he got hurt doing the side gig, and he tried to do a workers' comp case at his main gig, and then they found out and sent him to jail.
That's good. That is really good. I'd be here for it. Now, if I was TNA, what I would do is I would book Abyss in a match tonight with Sting, and you have a poll. And on top of that poll, you put what it is, like on a little contract piece of paper. Or, it's in a locked briefcase. Now, because this is Vince Russo booking it. So you got to have it on a pole. And if Sting wants to reveal the secret, he has to climb the pole to get it.
You see, now you've missed a great opportunity. I know you've rewatched WCW 2000. They could do like the San Francisco 49er match where they have 4 briefcases. Or in this case, 6, because there's 6 sides. So you could just have a whole bunch of briefcases and then be like, one of them has the secret.
That's brilliant. That is a great idea. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm really into that.
And of course, they would pick the last one would be the secret. The first 5. No, I can't. Got it wrong.
And of course, as they go to like open them, like the things fall off the bottom.
Yeah.
And everything. Oh, I'm here for it.
Picture of Scott Hall. What the hell?
That's pretty funny. I just like that the title falls out the bottom of the box.
Oh, yeah, it does. That's right.
It's like, what? What's happening here?
That's right.
Yeah, well, time will tell. I'm definitely interested in seeing what's going to happen. I'm ready and prepared to be disappointed. But, you know, if we go into it that we're going to be disappointed, maybe we'll be like, okay, maybe this isn't so bad. And I think that's what is going to keep me going right now. So we'll find out. Now, I don't want to tease too much, Bob. But I sent you a text. Oh, I sent you a Snapchat last night.
Oh, shit, yeah.
We have breaking news, guys. And I'm not starting with this. You're going to have to sit through me talking about a bunch of other shit first. We know who Samoa Joe is from Final Resolution.
Well, I don't. You do.
Bob doesn't. I did not tell him.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to beg me to, and I wasn't going to do it.
Here's the thing. I could have just gone on the Observer thing because it's my login, and then I didn't do it.
I was thinking about that, and I figured there's absolutely no way you were going to put the time in to try to figure out which newsletter it was. So
you're absolutely right.
I do have an answer, and I will tell you shortly. We have a bunch of stuff I want to get into before the show, and we got a few things during it, but there's a bunch of stuff I think we need to cover before we get into today's show. So I guess that all being said, let's do a quick rundown first of the card from our last episode, which I have pulled up once it loads again. This is from the January 18th, 2007 edition of Impact. And we saw LAX defeat Team 3D in 3 minutes and 50 seconds to retain the tag team titles. And believe it or not, Brother Runt interfered. But that's not actually what really caused them the match. It was because Moody Jack handed Hernandez the slapjack. We heard the rumors that he may end up being like a temporary manager for them. I think that was the first that kind of look into that potential. Then we saw James Storm with Miss Tennessee defeat Lance Hoyt in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And then in the main event, Kurt Angle defeated AJ Styles in 8 minutes. So, pretty wild show. Christian Cage also came out and spoke, and him and Kurt Angle had a confrontation. We will find out his consultant at some point. Is that today as well?
See, I don't think so. The way it's being presented is that we're supposed to think it's Samoa Joe, but the way that at the end
they didn't directly say it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like the end of last week's episode, I don't think why would Samoa Joe want to keep it hidden? He doesn't give a fuck. So I feel like he would just say, "Yeah, it's me."
Right.
So I don't think it's Samoa Joe. But but Christian said that he knows Kurt like very well, or they have like a similar style background. So
okay, well, we'll find out what that means. I'm assuming in the next couple of shows, or maybe at Against All Odds.
Oh yeah, I mean, the logical thing would be to reveal it at the pay-per-view. Make people want to find out, but they have to pay to see it. They love this trend where whether it's Christian making his in-ring debut or whatever, they do it the show right before when you're going to pay to see it. So that's I don't want to see the reveal the fucking 3 days before the pay-per-view.
That is damn right. That episode of Impact that we just mentioned did a 1.14 rating and 1.4 million viewers. And the show did a 0.99 in males 18 to 34 and a 0.73 in males males 35 to 49. And then we do have the quarter-hour breakdown, which I think is always kind of fun. The show opened with a 1.06 for the LAX Team 3D match. Then Dave just wrote they lost. They had a strong growth with 195,000 viewers to a 1.22 quarter. The second number they ever did I'm assuming this means the second highest number they ever did, but he didn't write that. He just says the second number they ever did.
He's probably missing a word.
Yeah. With the Christy Hemme segment, so that is included in that. The Angle and Christian segment, and the part 2 of the Sting vs. Mitchell confrontation situation. So that's all in the second quarter there. But they lost 110,000 viewers for Hoyt versus Storm with all the angle and with all those angles at the end there. And then Angle versus Styles in the finish of the Sting segment gained 37,000 viewers, which I'd have to call a major disappointment since they'd build the show around Sting confronting Abyss and then gave away a first time ever match.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I would say a fair assessment.
TNA's business model is significantly different.
Sure
They're
is.
all about popping ratings and trying to get more money from Spike, but
Right.
you can make the argument that they were ahead of the times, because that's pretty much what it is now.
I mean, you're right. It's really switched. A couple interesting names were backstage at Final Resolution, we found out here. The Heartthrobs, for one, were backstage. Kenny King, who has actually appeared before, so that's not as surprising to me. And Hector Guerrero also was backstage at Final Resolution. And actually, speaking of Final Resolution, I'm gonna we'll knock out some of these Final Resolution things quick.
Well, what's your favorite Heartthrobs match?
There's one on Raw. I'm sure they fought like the Heart Foundation or something.
The Heart Foundation? What the fuck?
The new Heart Foundation or something.
Here's a fun fact: the Heartthrob, my first ever WWE house show that I went to, August of 2005. The first match was Hurricane and Rosie against the Heartthrobs.
I definitely was at that show. Now you got me. You want to be like this right now? Hold on one second.
What?
I'm looking up their cage match.
Antonio Thomas is pretty solid. Romeo, I don't know. Yeah, he's hit or miss.
Okay, so my favorite match has got to be their debut match where they lost to Jerry and William Regal. Okay, so it's funny you say this, the Hurricane and Rosie thing. They fight them a lot.
Yeah.
So I guess by default, my favorite match has to be them versus Hurricane and Rosie.
Yeah, I mean it's the brand split, so of course they're gonna fight the same tag team 17.
Holy crap! I mean, I know this is a house show, but holy crap, dude, they're really going at it here.
Yeah.
Wow. But yes, I also like Antonio Thomas. I think he's underrated.
The Promise Thomas.
That's right. Did Romeo ever do like much of anything else? I feel like I never heard about him again.
No, I don't. I think he really kind of went into acting.
Mm. He does wrestle in Northeast Wrestling quite consistently after his WWE run, it looks like.
Yeah, but that's not anything of substantial.
No. Nothing substantial. Huh. Okay. Pretty interesting. There's your Heartthrobs history lesson for a second.
Yeah.
Now, I can't quite remember. It doesn't list which time this was. I think it might have happened on Impact, but there was some stuff at Final Resolution, so I'm just going to mention it right now. CNN Headline News put the AJ Prudzinski chair shot on Hoyt on its regular rotation. It also received mention on most major sportscasts in Chicago. So I think he hit him with it on Impact, but I feel like there's also that confrontation on the pre-show, so I don't know exactly which moment we're talking about, but
I want to say we saw. It was a clip. Was the thing that we saw was a clip from the pre-show? I think.
Yeah, but he was sitting ringside too, wasn't he? Oh, and then Hoyt was beating him down ringside, but they barely showed it. I remember.
Yeah.
It's got to be from Final Resolution then.
That's what I'm thinking.
Now, before Final Resolution, before the pay-per-view, there's apparently a showdown of sorts between Kevin Nash and Bob Backlund. It's got some drama. So, Kevin Nash tried to get over on Backlund by talking about, quote, gimmicks, like getting high on somos and downers and stuff like that, and other drug references that he thought that Backlund wouldn't get. Well, Backlund, who has a clean liver, basically threatened to walk off the set and insisted it be removed from the script or he was going home at that instant.
Why?
Apparently he was very upset about this.
About Nash using pills?
Yeah, he must have been trying to sneak like some jokes into like a promo with him or something, and so he didn't like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Taking it a little serious there about it.
Right. More Final Resolution stuff. I have so many Final Resolution updates. Brother Ray has heat on him for the pay-per-view match with LAX, believe it or not.
Shocking.
Yeah. As if he booked the finish, Dave says. But a lot of people were mad that he ate Homicide up, which he sure did in some spots, Dave mentions. Terry Taylor got all 4 guys together after the match because it was the worst match on the show and told Ray that he didn't sell enough for Homicide and that LAX are the company's tag team champions and the hottest self-develop act. Ray said he thought he was selling, but Taylor told him if he thought he wasn't doing it well enough. To smooth things over, Ray then volunteered to put Homicide over on television, although, of course, they did the slapjack finish, so... Yeah.
This shit blows my mind, man. These wrestlers are like, hey, yeah, I'll put over the guy, and then TNA's like, no, we'll do a screw job.
I know.
I don't understand why they won't just fucking do a clean job. Like, the wrestler, like, we've heard this from Sting. Wasn't Sting like, no, I should just lose outright?
Yeah, Sting. I think Sting has said that, and then I remember Rhino wanted to lose to Chris Sabin, and they were like, no.
That one was literally when he first got there.
I know.
And that was like the internet era.
I know.
So
that's what's almost funny.
Talking him off the edge was fine, but these other ones are like, come on.
Yeah. In the Joe and Angle Iron Man match, Kurt Angle plotted out the entire match ahead of time, move for move.
Oh my God!
Now,
how can you possibly do that?
I don't know, but we talked about this before because he got concussed, and this was on our last week episode, our follow up from the pay-per-view. We talked pretty in depth about it, but now he talked with Joe about it, but Joe didn't really pay close attention because he figured that Angle was going to call it all in the ring anyways, because that's what he does. Then, when Angle went blank after the concussion, about 8 minutes in, Joe hadn't memorized the match, and now he had to call the spots. So Angle had no idea what was going on, including where they were in the match, how many falls they had done, and Joe had to try to keep it together.
Oh my God!
So it fell apart pretty.
That it would okay. So that literally explains why it's not better than the other two, or even on the same level as the other two.
You're damn right.
Because the only guy that knew all the information got a concussion, and then knew nothing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's crazy.
I know. Okay, Bob, the time has come. Samoa Joe, let's do it. Okay, this is the last.
I'm gonna say one more guess.
Okay.
And I'm sure I'm wrong. But has he been in TNA before?
Technically.
Is it Mortimer Plumtree?
Dude, holy shit, what a guess that is. No, that's awesome though.
Damn it. Okay.
We've been waiting. I didn't know if we were ever going to get this news. I was going to start tweeting at random people because I was feeling desperate, but I'm glad I waited until I saw this. If you guys are caught up on our Final Resolution episode, there's a guy under a mask named Samoa Joe who was a judge in the Paparazzi Championship Series finals between Austin Starr and Alex Shelley. During the Final Resolution episode, if you missed out, which I highly recommend you check it out, pay-per-view ones are always fun, Bob live tweeted Vince Russo and said, "Are you under this mask?" Because we were convinced. And he just wrote back, "No." So it was not him. I'll be honest, that whole rest of that show, I did not believe him. I did not believe him. Well, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Samoa Joe on the pay-per-view is a former manager who worked Explosion during the Nashville days called Eddie G. So essentially, he's nobody.
Who the fuck is Eddie G?
Well, I have that answer. He's actually a friend of BG James from Pensacola and a gopher pipe. On the Nashville shows, he
just grabs stuff for people.
Yeah. On the Nashville shows, he had worked as a cheerleader in a rainbow wig.
What?
This is Explosion. We were not watching those. So
right, but he was a cheerleader wearing a rainbow wig?
That's what's said here. So, Bob, if you want... It doesn't say. If you want to message our friend Brian Turner, maybe he knows, but...
Yeah, I mean, Brian would probably know.
Yeah. So there's our answer. It's a little. I'll be honest. I hyped it up on purpose to Bob because we had an answer, but it's kind of not very satisfying.
I was honestly hoping you were going to say it was in fact Vince Russo and that he lied to me.
That would have been phenomenal. It would have been
That's
amazing.
That's what I wish, but
That would have been amazing. Okay, let me scroll back up here a little bit. Just making sure I'm covering all my bases. Yes, we are good. Okay. Next up, regarding the change from Letitia Crane to Jeremy Borash in interviews, while Nash very likely did complain, if he had anything to do with the change back, he was, quote, one of the 900 people in line, as most everyone in the promotion was of the same opinion we were from the start, if not even stronger on it, because they had to work with her doing all of the retakes and having no experience of instincts and how to handle promos. Going back to Borash was said to be the obvious solution. So we probably won't be seeing her as heavily, and I'm sure she will fade away quite quietly.
see, I don't know. I don't think that she fades away.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's there for a bit. She must just get. I think she probably just gets better.
That's fine too. I'm cool with that.
I mean, she's too good looking to be fired.
As bad as that is to say, I mean, we're at that time period, so.
How's that bad to say? I'm complimenting her.
Yeah, but.
I'm saying she's hot, so she should be able to keep her job. If she was ugly, yeah, fire her.
That's fine. She was on the Howard Stern show, so.
She was. Riding with Sabin. Never forget.
That's right.
I don't know how I could forget that. That was.
Well, next up. Conan spent 9 days in the hospital in Monterey after getting his hip replaced. It was a painful operation, and the doctors told him that he doesn't want to see him wrestling on it for at least 6 months. So, of course, Conan is planning to wrestle in AAA in 3 months.
Of course.
His biggest problem is still the kidney and not his hip, believe it or not. And then kind of skipping ahead a little bit. Now, AAA is going to do a benefit show in February to help pay for the surgery, and WWE has okayed Rey Mysterio making an appearance, believe it or not, which is kind of crazy at the time. He's not wrestling, though. He's just appearing because he has a knee injury. Conan was told by his doctor that his near kidney failure was caused by a combination of heavy usage of anti-inflammatory drugs, painkillers, and eating a high-protein diet. He was told the damage he had was not the type of damage to the kidneys that is consistent with heavy usage of steroids. There's our Conan update for the week.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that he's trying to cut that in half. The time to get back.
That's a wrestler thing, right?
Every single time. And then they wonder why in 10, 15 years, their quality of life is just non-existent.
Right. I have an update on our morale situation. We've kind of talked about this briefly. Recently, they took away paying for travel to hotels and stuff like that. Well, the situation has gotten worse. Unfortunately, what has happened is a divide between the Star Group, which is like Jeff Jarrett, Sting, Kurt Angle, Christian Cage, Kevin Nash, who are perceived to be making the most money, which they are, and the rest of the guys. The cutback on the shuttle from the airport and hotel rooms, plus the fact that the aforementioned 5 guys dress in separate dressing room, is built on the natural resentment of the guys not making much to guys who are making a lot more and getting all the stardom perks. So there's going to be that natural divide, of course. But
yeah, well, I mean, there are guys that are making a ridiculous amount of money can probably afford to drive to the venue.
Right.
These other guys making $300 probably can't. So,
right.
What a shocker!
I know. I got 2 more for you, and then Bob, I don't know if we want to discuss the Birmingham, Alabama house show. I have some notes related to that. If we want to run down the card after. It's like I think it's a UWF one. Oh no, it's just the house show.
It's just a house show.
Okay, we'll talk about that. I got 2 more notes, and then let's talk about that because I have some notes relating to it. And then we can get into the show. Good stuff. It's noted that Jeff Jarrett, Dutch Mantel, and Vince Russo have agreed to bring Mike Tenay back as a regular member of the booking committee. They have also asked Jim Cornette to join booking committee. Cornette indicated that he's up for it, but they aren't that close on agreeing on money terms at press time. Now, Dave says that my gut is that they're receptive to the complaints of late about some of the angles not making sense. He says, I will tell you how they could move ratings up, dump the entire wrestling promotion, and turn the booking meetings into a 1-hour weekly reality show. He says, I believe that Russo will still be the head writer, and thus the product will be directed along with his philosophical lines, which is late 90s WWF style and attitude. Still, with 2 hours, a solid percentage of the flaws in the current television show could be eliminated. We'll keep you updated on that and see how the booking changes, or if it doesn't at all.
Could you imagine a reality show for a wrestling booking room?
That'd be wild.
Just because of Cornette and Russo. That'd be amazing.
That'd be crazy. My last note before we talk about this house show. Now, Dixie Carter announced on January 23rd that the Lockdown pay-per-view will take place on April 15th. And believe it or not, Bob, it's not in the Impact Zone. It's at the Family Arena in St. Charles, Missouri, which is just the outskirts of St. Louis, which holds 10,000 fans.
They're not filming.
10,000 fans. It will be the annual all-cage match show. That was the original idea, and then there were problems because that arena didn't want any blood on the show, and no blood and an all-cage show would be a problem. Not sure how it was all resolved. They will also hold a fan fest the day before.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Isn't Missouri... I think Missouri's got like anti-blading things.
Oh.
Like really big law, like a law that you can't like cut yourself.
That's cool.
For entertainment purposes or something.
Interesting.
So that'll be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we'll find out what happens with that. But we have our official announcement and date, and it's not going to be in the Impact Zone. I think that's the biggest part of this, so I'm excited about that. Okay, Bob, do you want to run down this house show, and then I can mention a couple of notes relating to it?
Yeah, I suppose I can do that for you. So on January 20th, TNA held their own house show. There's no UWF or any other promotions assistance. As you noted, it was in Birmingham, Alabama. The attendance is approximately 1,800. Doesn't give me an arena, just says where it was. Okay, so here are the results. Petey Williams defeating Sanjay Dutt. Eric Young defeating Austin Starr. BG James defeated Robert Roode. James Storm defeated Chris Harris. AJ Styles defeated a Rhino. The NWA World Tag Team Champions LAX defeated the Naturals to retain the titles. And in the main event, Kurt Angle defeated Abyss.
Okay, so this is really interesting. Okay. Let me read you my notes on the show. So cage match, I think, has something wrong. Which is, I'm like, when you just said it, I looked over and I was like, okay, hang on a second. Okay, so as Bob noted, the cage match lists about 1,800. This mentions that there's 1,000 paid, so maybe they had a little bit more. They had about a $25,000 house, and it was at the Zamora Shrine Temple. And it was universally praised as a great show. So apparently it went over pretty well. The one thing about the TNA crew is that when they left to wrestle without overbookings and runnings, most of the guys can and do deliver. So that's the positive there. Now, of course, the Sanjay Dutt and Petey Williams and Eric Young and Austin Starr had good matches. That's a given. There's not even any notes about this. Although I do have the time, actually, interestingly enough. Petey and Sanjay went about 20 minutes, and Austin Starr and Eric Young went 17.
Wow.
Yeah. But next up, oh, no, I'm sorry. Oh, no, hold on. I see. So it's not necessarily incorrect what they've written. I misread my note, but I'll get there. BG pinning Roode was apparently the worst match on the show. I don't have a time on that. Now, they were scheduled to have Chris Harris versus James Storm, but Harris is selling the blinding angle. So
Right, that's why I was confused. Like,
yes,
why?
This is why this is what threw me off so hard. Now Storm came to the ring and made referee Rudy Charles count to 10. Storm then started insulting the crowd until Harris, wearing an eye patch, hit the ring. TNA was filming this for a TV angle, so we should expect to see this, I would assume. Now, in the angle, Harris talked about how Storm was going to get it on February 9th on the Wrestle Birmingham show because his opponent would be Jake Roberts. So they're hyping up this other show that's apparently headlined, if you want to know, by Brad Armstrong versus Dennis Condrey and Bob Armstrong versus Tommy Rich in a loser leaves town match. So this is a promotion, they did an angle for the promotion because the owner, who's Linda Marks, was the co-promoter of this house show. So that's kind of why they twisted that into it. Okay. Yeah. So they didn't technically have a match. They just kind of essentially counted out Harris because he never came to the ring.
Gotcha.
Yeah. LAX keeping the tag titles over Andy and Douglas and Chase Stevens. Now, they were back together as the Naturals. This is the first time since the experiment was over, and Dave even brings that up. Even though Douglas isn't being used by TNA on television anymore. So it's a pretty interesting thing. Now, even though they're supposed to be heels, LAX was more over as faces than anyone on the show except for Kurt Angle. And during this match, Hernandez gave Douglas the border toss, and he landed badly. Homicide quickly pinned Stevens. Now, it was 8 to 10 minutes before Douglas could get to his feet, and a lot of people, including Terry Taylor, were in the ring and looking very concerned. The Angle and Abyss match was also said to be good. And he won with an ankle lock, if that's any surprise.
Another submission. Oh.
Yeah. Lita is making her debut on the UWF show on March 2nd and March 3rd. Now, there's no official word regarding her appearing with TNA, but it is known that they want her for when they start their women's division. So there's a chance. There's a chance.
Would you sign her? If it was up to you.
If I truly was trying to build a women's division, I absolutely would. Absolutely. And it gives you have like Gail Kim. I mean, is Christy Hemme that great of a wrestler? Not necessarily, but she's she's a name from WWE too, and like so you have I think the beginnings of that. You have Jackie Moore. I think
I would hope Hemme's a better wrestler than she is actress.
At this, I don't know if that's true or not. I guess I don't know. It's been a while.
But yeah, so it'd be Lita, Gail, Hemme, Jacqueline,
Tracy,
Trinity.
Jackie, Gail. No, Trinity's not here.
Yeah, but we could bring her back. Trinity.
We could definitely bring her back.
Jackie Gata.
I don't know.
Bring her back.
We could, but we're never going to see her again. I don't think.
I think you.
But we could bring them back. I think besides that, I don't know. I guess I don't know who else is technically a free agent in this time that would be worth like signing. I think you'd have to get some new talent in. Medusa, Ivory.
That'd be good. 2000. What year is this? 2007. Jazz. You could probably get Jazz.
Oh, I could have seen that happening.
Mercedes Martinez.
Oh yeah, she
Allison Danger.
She broke what's her face's back.
Desire. We could bring Desire back.
Absolutely, could bring Desire back.
Sarah Del Rey.
See, we could do it.
Lacey. I mean, there is plenty of options. Portia Brett.
Okay.
There's so many.
We could easily build it.
Nicole Matthews. I mean,
and you sign Lita. She's like your top baby face of the division. Even Gal could. I mean, we know Gal can work. There's stuff she's been doing even just as a manager. We have a lot of potential. I would
have Lita be the heel though.
Well, that's
someone from a rival organization.
That's what we would do. But that's what we would do. But we know how this works.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe they do the Kurt Angle where she's a babyface, and then like 2 weeks later, she's like the worst heel on the show, and she's like breaking ankles if you love her.
Right. But the Kurt thing makes no sense because there's in no way do I see him as a fucking babyface. He broke a fucking girl's ankle.
Right.
An innocent woman. He broke her ankle.
I mean, you're not wrong. And now he's like a babyface again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just fucking weird. Really fucking weird. Is that all your notes?
That's all the notes, man. At least before we get into the show. I had a couple for the show, but honestly, I wanted to get a lot of this stuff out early because it felt bigger than just trying to say in between matches. So I think we're in a good spot, and I am excited to hear Abyss's secret and maybe learn more about the consultant, and also enjoy 41 minutes and 56 seconds of TNA Impact from 2007. There's nothing else I'd rather do in my life right now, and I wish I was joking.
Well, I was gonna say it's got to be a joke, but apparently you're not.
No, dude, it's a 3-day weekend. Spoiler alert: we're filming this January 19th, so I'm feeling good.
Cool. All right, well, I'm gonna get into it. If you want to watch along with us, head over to the TNA Plus app, or you can find it in your own personal collection. I'm gonna count down from 3. When I say play, that's when the show will begin. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
TNA.
We are wrestling.
We are wrestling. Oh, earlier today at City Hall. Sting
The
investigating
public
at City Hall, dude. This is awesome. They just show a shot of the outside. We didn't really.
How can you hide public information? Like, there's no way.
That was awesome. We're seeing highlights from our last episode of Impact.
Who could be this consultant if it's not Samoa Joe? It's got to be somebody that he knows pretty well and is a free agent.
So he teased it. He's like, I'll give you a clue. And Samoa Joe was there. And of course, Sting was throwing Mitchell all over the arena, locked him in a trunk at the beginning of the show. And I noted last week, and I confirmed it when I was looking through images. There's a table in the back that's spray painted AMW from when Team 3D used it, and he threw Mitchell across that. So there's a table.
That's over a year ago.
Yeah, and they got the table still.
That's
They never put him through it. I know, isn't that crazy?
They're just hoarding fucking a table like that for no reason. Do you think TNA still has that table?
No. The thing is, it was somewhere between the 2010 and probably, I bet you, like 2015 years. They started selling a bunch of shit, which is how I got a Bound for Glory 2005 sign that was in the arena somewhere. I just have it now.
How much did you have to pay for it?
$50.
Dallas Gridley. That's it?
Yeah.
Was this an auction thing or just a set price?
It was on their website. Why do you think I bought it? I didn't
realize it was only $50.
Where is it?
They must have been in financial ruins or something.
That's what I mean. It's right here. That's when I also... Samoa Joe's coming out right now, by the way, in a t-shirt with his towel over his shoulder. That's when I also bought this awesome mouse pad that I still use to this day.
Wow.
TNA Across the Line mouse pad. That's one of my favorites.
Which also cost you $50.
It's also when I purchased... I have a sign. Bob knows what I'm talking about. It says Impact Zone, and it has arrows because it was like the directional sign to point you to the Impact Zone. So I have that hanging up in my basement where I hang out and watch wrestling. And that's also when I bought the other sign that Bob knows about, where it's a TV taping sign, and it says "Come watch the stars" from Spike TV, and it's got a bunch of people on it. So yeah, I bought a lot of shit during that sale. Okay, Samoa Joe says, everyone has one burning question for him. Why would Samoa Joe help Kurt Angle? There's got to be a reason why he'd help Kurt Angle. I can't tell what they're chanting at him, but...
You tapped twice.
Oh, shit. That's not good. Kurt, I would spit on you if you were on fire.
That is such a weak line. There was a girl on Survivor who was like talking to some other chick, and she was like, "If you were on fire, I would not piss on you."
Oh shit. Is Survivor good? I keep wanting to like try it out.
Apparently, this year's been phenomenal. I've enjoyed it the years I've watched it.
I don't know why. I have like the weird itch of like I kind of want to watch Survivor.
There's definitely some good like betrayals and stuff on that show, and just stories in general.
I don't like that there's 40 seasons.
Well, yeah, because now they do like 3 a year.
I'll never watch all of them. I'll tell you that.
That's something crazy.
Okay, the next time we fight, it won't be for Pride. It'll be for the World Heavyweight Championship. So he's basically thinking Kurt Angle's going to guarantee he's going to win the title against Christian Cage.
He wants him to beat Christian Cage, so he wouldn't be Christian. He wouldn't be the consultant then.
That's a great point.
Unless he's swerving us. But if he wants Kurt and he wants to beat Kurt, then you would want him to be the champion to win the title.
Well, Kurt Angle's coming down right now. The song sounds slightly different to me, but I think it's just like halfway through the song because
it's definitely not the beginning. Yeah. Who the fuck would know Kurt Angle to be his consultant?
Special reinforcer.
Christian. Well, yeah, because Christian's got a consultant. Can they know Kurt?
I figured you and I were over when I beat you at Final Resolution. That's what I get for assuming. Okay, he doesn't have a problem that he still wants to fight him. He just has a problem with the way he's going about it.
Kurt, you broke his fucking girlfriend's ankle.
Shh.
How is he going to... You hurt an innocent woman. What are we talking about?
You said I knew this person very well. And then I pissed this person off. By the end of the evening, you'll give me a hint, a clue, to who this person was. Well, at the end of the evening, when I showed up in the ring and I turned around in the ring, and all I saw was you standing here and a chair right next to you. I mean, it's pretty fishy. I don't need to get hit by a chair to get it, Joe. If you want to train Christian Cage to beat me at against all odds, I don't got a problem with that.
Did he not listen to what you just said?
If you put a foot in that match, I'm going to snap off your ankle, and then he's going to shove it up his ass, but Samoa Joe cuts him off.
Kurt, he wants you to win so he can beat you for the title.
So he says, I've never needed to be or been a liar. Oh, and Christian Cage's theme song just hit.
Who would know Kurt Angle so well?
Charlie Haas.
Is he a free agent?
I have no idea.
That'd be a really good guess. If this was 2006, I would say probably, because Charlie was,
Christian Cage out here in his Affliction long sleeve shirt with Tomko, who we forgot to note in the last week now has blonde sides.
It's Brock Lesnar, dude.
Okay, so that would be really good.
It's fucking Brock.
That would be.
That's
insane.
who they're probably making us want to believe it is. It's Brock.
Oh, he says Samoa Joe's not good enough to consult him on anything. So Cage has confirmed it is not Samoa Joe. Although I do have the reputation of being a liar. I'm so damn good at lying, even I don't know when I'm telling the truth sometimes. Before this show is over, Kurt, he's going to give him a second hit tonight. There's someone who's been close to him. Maybe closer than you think. And they just did an amazing camera shot
Yeah.
of Joe looking over at him, and now Joe and Kurt are brawling in the ring. We're looking at our March pay-per-view match. I'm pretty positive.
Of what?
Joe and Angle again. I mean, I feel like it's gonna happen again. Not
We're
gotta.
gonna do Joe Angle again in March
Oh, we're at the table with Don West and Mike today, but
for the
Tomko's
title.
standing
So you
on
think
it.
Kurt's gonna win the title against odds?
Yeah, I do. I want Cage to have a good run, but I just got a feeling, dude.
There's no way that they would
Whoa.
run it again.
Rhino versus
Rhino
Raven
Raven.
tonight? The Unbreakable 2005 main event revisited?
Whoa.
You like that throwback?
I do. September of 2005.
We haven't seen Raven wrestle in this new character since it started.
Oh, I don't like his goatee thing there. Or his little chin. Like you mentioned, the blonde on the side. I don't like that.
Okay, I don't know exactly what Tomko just said. He sent him down here because there's going to be some, do you say, changes starting with the announcers. I don't like Tomko talking. I'm saying it. But we're backstage with Jim Mitchell and Abyss. Abyss is throwing stuff. He's mad.
Tomko probably would be better off as the silent monster.
Yep. Ooh, assault and battery and the kidnapping against me, and you did on videotape.
That's funny.
You like to be one of those prison punks that gets traded out for cigarettes.
Come on, I'm a little fucking bitch.
Well, meet us in the prison yard at Against All Odds. Now, this issue that you want to reveal Abyss's secret. I'm going to extend the courtesy to you that you don't deserve. He's going to give you some very good advice. Sting. It's one thing to piss me off. It's another thing altogether to lance the pus-infected boil that is the monster Abyss. There's some things that are best left dead and buried in the ground. You think by revealing Abyss's secret, you're handing him a key to the kingdom of heaven. Don't be surprised, Sting, when your very own words ignite heaven on fire. Forewarned is forewarned. I actually really like that promo. I thought that was really good.
Do you think they're gonna like build a prison yard and then do a pre-tape?
They're definitely doing a pre-tape. So yes. I think they're going to do it. What the hell? Jim Cornette, Jeremy Borish, but here is Raven and the Serotonin. They all have really weird masks on. Not the head of some S&M power. Oh. You are going to earn your money. I don't care if you beat these guys or paint them or blow them up or whatever. You can get that stuff off and get some tights on, which is funny because Raven doesn't wear tights. Raven does not talk. Say hello to Uncle Fester for him. Okay, so now this is one of my weird issues that I have is I feel like they do this quite often on Impact, I've noticed. They announce the match in the beginning of the show, and then they do the segment to tell you that, hey, by the way, you're getting a match tonight.
I know what you mean.
And here comes Rhino. Well, he's in the ring now. He's not here comes Rhino. He's already here.
That's gotta be like a production thing. Like just poor, planning out your show.
Like, I'm not saying we should have opened the show with Raven in Jim Cornette's office, but then at least it would explain them mentioning the match when they go to the table. Okay, Johnny Devine runs in the ring first. Rhino punches him. Here comes Kazarian, and here's Maverick Matt. They're trying to take out Rhino before Raven even gets there. That was a gore to Devine, gore to Maverick after Kazarian got thrown out. Raven's getting into the ring. He's wearing his full suit. Oh, my God. A huge cane to the head. Wait, that's not Raven. Oh, my God. It's AJ Styles.
That's good.
Dude, that was wicked good.
How is it a DQ against Raven? He wasn't even in the match. He wasn't there.
I think they're just ringing the bell like, hey, this is not happening now.
TNA just said disqualification.
That's dumb. The bell never officially started. I don't think this counts as a match. Wait, so we don't get to actually see Raven wrestle, though? Holy shit, what a chair shot by Styles. So, I have more questions.
Yeah.
So, is Raven, like, in cahoots with Serotonin? Because, like, how do you get Raven's suit? And also, how the Serotonin guys not know that was him? And see, this is another issue with the editing of that video right before the match. Because, so they were clearly with Raven there. Because I saw his blonde hair. And now, all of a sudden, they're not. I don't know. That's kind of weird. But, I mean, Styles must have cut a deal or something, I feel like. It's the only thing that makes sense. Styles has massive shoes on. Rhino's all bloodied open. Okay, so we don't get a Raven match tonight. Okay.
What a bummer.
Cage is in the production truck with Letitia. How many cameras we got on the show? We got 9. We have 9, sir. 9. We need 3.5 more on me. I want to say, Paige, we're ready to go. I'm going to make it rain in here. Make some heads roll. And the roll in the tape, still to come. Sting reveals Abyss's secret. Coming soon, A Few Good Black Men Round the Truth Killings. He's in a movie. Oh, Ron Killing's headed to Hollywood, they're saying. Wow, this is big news.
Sounds like a gimmick.
I wonder if he gave him smoking first. A random note for you, Bob, since we're getting into the show, and I haven't given you any more. Oh, hold on. Paparazzi Productions first. Hang on. We're Jeremy Borish and Eric Young. Oh, they're going shopping for condoms. What if these are too big? I need a smaller size.
James Storm.
Miss Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yeah.
Oh, they caught Eric Young. Eric Young buying rubbers. Oh, it's 4:00 in the morning, apparently. What is it, a Letitia pre-tape? Just kidding.
Oh, it's Slick. I was going to say, who was that?
Okay, I wasn't sure at first either. Okay, he goes extra small. He starts laughing. Cheese nips. Price check on the condom, please, he yells.
This is because he has the bang Tracy, right?
Yeah, but actually, now I'm thinking about it, it's really funny because James Storm is insinuating it's for Borish and Eric Young.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Holy shit, that's so funny. Bye, James. Oh, and here's Tracy and Robert Roode.
With Letitia.
Yeah, why?
He doesn't have a microphone.
Oh, no, she does. It's down. She's holding it very low. She's not using it. What are you looking at, you
why
harlot?
is she holding it correctly?
Holy shit, dude. So much is happening. Chris Sabin's coming out now, our X Division champion. Okay, here's a note for you. It has nothing to do with Chris Sabin. So I didn't know this before. Maybe you did. But Ace Steel, who we've seen before in TNA, he did the Donald Trump gimmick with the Rosie O'Donnell thing on Raw.
Yeah.
And he was signed to a developmental contract, which he says was, Dave says, which is a surprise because they have the height requirement deal. Now, that's like sort of irrelevant for what I'm getting at here, but it's mentioned in the same note that Cassidy Riley has also signed a developmental deal, and Dusty Rhodes has always liked him from his TNA days, so we will probably not be seeing him anymore.
That's a bummer. I like Cassidy O'Reilly.
Okay, we have, I think, a four-way match here. Austin Starr, Senshi, Jerry Lynn, and Chris Sabin. Is that correct? I don't have cage match. Okay.
It's a four-way. I have some indie notes here. Chris Sabin, on January 19th, he lost to Josh Prohibition in a match for the UWA Canadian Championship at UWA Hardcore Hour of Dragon show in Canada. That is not... Well, I guess I could do that. Senshi, back on January 5th, defeated Roderick Strong at IWA Mid-South's Hurt in Indiana. Austin Starr, he's done with that. And then, that's all there is to. Okay, so those are the indie notes for these guys.
Very nice. They just mentioned that this is actually airing on Wednesday. I didn't know that.
So that means that it would be the correct date on our file then, or no?
No.
24th.
So me and Bob had a discrepancy before we got on air. So our episode is titled the 25th of January. It is on the 24th, like cage match lists.
The original airing. I mean, they showed it again, probably.
They probably showed it again. Austin Starr rams Senshi into the corner, crotch first, and he's raking across the back. Speaking of Impact airing on different days, as Austin Starr hits a nice drop kick to the back of the head of Senshi, the decision was made between TNA and Spike that on February 12th, which is a Monday night when Raw is preempted due to the dog show, to air a taped 2-hour special instead of running a live show. Now, on February 16th, TNA will be getting a 3-hour block from 8 to 11 p.m. on Spike, which will go head-to-head with the first run airing of Raw on USA. So we almost got our first live Impact, and it's not happening. But now, I guess, have a follow-up for that, too. As Sabin is going after... Oh, wait, is this a tag, or is it a 4-way?
It's a 4-way.
It's like one of the weird...
whoever.
It's one of those weird ones. Okay, there we go. Jerry Lynn just tagged in with Senshi, and he's going after Sabin now, who's our X Division champion.
Realistically, in this type of match, I don't know why you would tag out ever.
I don't know. To get refreshed if you need it.
But if you don't, you can't get back in there. I guess it's the risk of it all, but
right. Sabin is groggy. He's turning around. Jerry Lynn picks him up, hits the TKO. Let's see, 1, 2. Starr breaks it up. Now, somebody apparently made up a fake press release and got it to the wires during the past week, stating that TNA would start on February 19th with a 2-hour show on Monday nights on Spike. There's nothing to it, but it got to USA, and they were furious and started planning some major retaliation until they found out it was a fraud. The decision makers at Spike don't want the show on Monday and don't want to be in the direct of a fight. Jeff Jarrett's goal from the start. Oh, holy shit. Jerry Lynn just pinned the X Division champion with a roll-up. Oh, I think I know our next X Division title match.
Yeah, no kidding. It's going to be fucking Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn better win the title.
All right. To finish this up here, as Sabin's very pissed. Jeff Jarrett's goal from the start has always been to get the show on Monday nights. The funny part is, TNA is closer than ever at finalizing an extension to 2 hours, just not on Mondays. Okay, Letitia is now backstage interviewing BG James, and Kip James is there with tape on his mouth because he doesn't want to talk. He says the Christy Hemme situation got way out of control. We apologize. Some of the things Christy Hemme said was right. Kip takes off the tape, puts it on BG James, who acts like he can't take it off. Hey, he's not politically correct, he says. He says, TNA wrestling, a man's world. This is Kip talking now.
He's saying this to a woman, by the way.
Yes. He says, I'm done. And BG walks out. Up next, Sting is revealing the secret.
Is BG about to align with Christy?
Christy? Oh. We're seeing an LAX Team 3D highlight package here, which I guess I could tell you another note. Oh, here's Conan. Hopefully soon he'll be back. There's still a situation where the booking team wants to add a new member to LAX. Conan wants Senshi because he's a great worker, but Senshi's attitude has kept the company from pushing him. The booking team wants to add Apollo and Machete, who were both former members. There is a feeling negative toward them because it then waters down what is a hot act.
Yeah, don't do it. You don't want to NWO yourself. And to add Machete and Apollo, that would be just silly to do that.
Forget about the titles and worry about your health and what's important to you. So Conan's sending a tame message. You will start respecting LAX. And 3D, remember one thing. To live and to die, LAX. It was fun seeing a nice little update from Conan.
Yeah, with this fucking walking...
Hit a walker.
Walking thing, yeah, walker.
Oh, baby, here we go. Here comes the stinger.
Oh, wow. I thought this would have closed the show.
This is Sting! What the hell? Why is he not got his jacket on?
Because he's here for a fight.
What the heck? Wait, he's got the red back on his face paint, too. Like the lines down.
Yeah.
Sting has decided to search the public records. Abyss. We all have our demons, and I am no different. But if you want life, you have to die first, Abyss. When I found out what you did, it was hard for me to fathom. You've been hiding something for 10 years? Or protecting something for the last 10 years? I went down and got public record and found out what you did. And I'm going to reveal what you did, but I know in doing so, I'm going to cause you to go off. You're going to go off, and then I'm going to have the wrath of Abyss to pay for. I'm willing to sacrifice my body one more time. Do you think Sting is going to fight in the prison yard, or is it going to be Steve Borden?
Ooh.
I kind of want it to be just Steve Borden.
Yeah, I think it would be Steve.
I like that idea.
Steve Borden against Chris Parks.
I mean, they could book it like that. Obviously, Abyss will just be Abyss. But what did he just say?
His father was in a coma.
Okay. We put 3 bullets in his father's back.
Shot his father 3 times in the back.
You got some explaining to do, Abyss. Okay, the secret is out. Here comes the monster Abyss. He's freaking out.
What the fuck? What a wild.
Okay, he's just attacking Sting. He's obviously not saying anything. Okay, I have thoughts. He clotheslined Sting to the floor.
Why did you shoot your dad? I don't know, Sting. Read the rest of the public record and what it says.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe this is me like thinking into the Abyss character too much. I just can't see him using a gun.
No, absolutely.
I would be more into this if it was like he strangled his father or he drowned him.
Drowning would make sense because you try to kill Christian.
And that's I like the idea of that callback. So shooting him, I don't like it as much.
No. Because here's the thing. Shooting is such a typically impersonal way of doing something. So it would be more dramatic if you like stabbed him or like what you said, strangling him, like using your bare hand.
And like something that feels more aligned with the violence that Abyss is as a character versus a gun, which is like a gun in wrestling is just like it doesn't work.
Right.
Although it did work on me when Puppet pulled it out of his pocket. I'm not gonna lie, because holy shit was that wild.
That was.
We're brawling in the Impact Zone and a choke slam through a table to Sting. We're on the left side of the stage area.
It's not the AMW spray painted one.
No, but it's not. Yeah, but see, okay, I don't know if they're ever going to go into deeper than that. Was his father abusive? Is that why Abyss is the way he is? Because like that would make more sense to me. But we gotta go. We gotta get a camera out there. They just cut to Don West and Mike Tenay, who were clearly watching the monitors and didn't know the camera was on them.
Yeah, or like reading a script too. That was
holy shit. He just threw Sting through a wall, which I didn't know, like a metal wall that I didn't know if it was supposed to break or not. Oh, there's James Mitchell. Oh shit! He just threw a flame or a fire in the face of Sting. Okay, Sting is getting taken away in an ambulance. I don't hate the idea of James Mitchell using fireballs. I'm just saying. Don't hate that. He did it really well too.
Yeah, that was good, but now
I want to see an ambulance match.
When Sting, how long is Sting gonna sell it for?
Till the pay-per-view. I don't think we're gonna see Sting
2 weeks away.
2 weeks away. We're not gonna see him both weeks. And I say this for one reason. It's a new set of tapings. So Sting's just not gonna be at that set of tapings.
Okay. Well, what's funny is he could bring back his look for when he was set on fire by Vampiro.
Ooh, now we're talking. We're backstage. Jeremy Borash interviewing Cage and Tomko. And just a quick note: Jim Cornette has apparently taken a greater hand in producing a lot of the interview segments. So we can see if you can point out some Jim Cornette-isms as we see these now. You better radio the ambulance that Sting's in. You better tell him to turn around. You got that second hit ready for Kurt Angle? I got it, and he'll get it. And he puts on his sunglasses. Deal with that.
I think the hint is the sunglasses, and I know who it is. It's Rikishi Fatu.
Oh, my God, dude. I did it for Christian.
I did it for Cage.
Here comes Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, who I was very surprised wasn't in that X Division match, so here he is now.
Oh, that's good. Cool. There are a couple of indie notes here for Daniels.
2 weeks ago. I call myself the shining light of the X Division. Why is he fixing a car?
No.
With the trunk. Sorry. Whose best interest I'm supposed to be serving?
When the fuck was that?
I don't know. Apparently he's facing Christian Cage, though, so this is kind of a big deal.
There's just 2 notes here, and then I don't think Christian has anything. Yeah, he doesn't. So Christopher Daniels, on January 19th, he defeated Frankie Kazarian for BTW in Newark, California. And then on January 20th, Christopher Daniels lost a 3-way for the APW Worldwide Internet Championship when Mr. Primetime defeated Billy Blade and Daniels at APW's Rumble in the Dome in Bakersfield. California. And before you ask, Mr. Primetime is not Elix Skipper.
I was going to say Mr. Primetime.
Yeah.
Okay, Christian Cage has some sick entrance gear, and he looks damn good with that title, I gotta say. This is a non-title match, by the way.
So does that mean Daniels isn't going to win?
No, it means he could win, because it's non-title.
No, I'm saying he should win the title.
Right.
So he's not going to win.
I have a random note that I was even questioning saying, but I'll just give it to you anyway. So apparently around this time, this past week, WWE fired 19 wrestlers because of the ECW house shows and unhappiness with a lot of happening in developmental. I believe one of which was Bill DeMott leaving. And why I'm bringing this up is because Tom Pritchard ended up taking his spot. And why I'm even telling you that is because apparently Tom Pritchard actually had talks with TNA about being an agent, but TNA decided not to pick him up.
Interesting.
And also, out of the list, which I don't have right now.
I was going to say, if you had it.
I decided not to include it. But one of the people that Dave thinks that ROH could have interest in is Doug Basham. And none of these people seem like a good fit, apparently. When I read the list, by the way, and it was like Sylvester Terkay and stuff like that, like it wasn't anything major. But he thinks no one could be a good fit for TNA, although Doug Basham has a personal connection, as he may still be dating Gail Kim at this time.
Interesting.
He does say, I guess he does say there is a possibility of Terkay, Sylvester Terkay, because he has a built-in storyline with Angle, because they technically had some history with the NCAA Heavyweight Championship and blah, blah, blah. He said the odds are against him. Consultant. Well, TNA has no interest in him, apparently. So Samoa Joe's coming down here, by the way.
It was never him. He was never going to be the consultant. Terkay. Doug Basham in fucking Ring of Honor, though? That's I mean, so here's the thing. As Christian's is beating up, we're going to commercial. For 5 years ago, it was like in 2002. Basham, Damaja, which was Danny Basham, Nick Dinsmore, who is Eugene, and then Rob Conway were like the main four dudes in OVW, and they would have some great matches. I just don't know if Doug Basham showed up in Ring of Honor that the fans would be like, hell yeah, it's Doug Basham.
I would be shocked.
And certainly by 2007, I don't know.
Jerry Borash just came down to Samoa Joe with a microphone and said, why are you here? It's almost like a little mini interview segment that only we could hear at home during the match.
Now, I guess in the TNA universe, we wouldn't know this, but as you have said, Daniels beat Cage in Ring of Honor.
I mean, great callback, right?
So there's that, but of course we don't know that in the.
Right.
They would never even mention that, considering Christian is technically undefeated, having never been pinned nor submitted.
Samoa Joe watching intently, although he's sitting in Bob's favorite seat, which is a pole right in the middle of the ring.
The fucking worst. 5.5 hour drive, and I can't even see fucking.
Yeah, we went to the Hammerstein Ballroom. Could we see? No.
No.
Was the ring too far back that if you're sitting on the balcony, you couldn't see it? Yes, it was. I should rewatch that show because I've technically never seen it.
I know, right? I was there live and I just never saw it. And I can sit there and be like, oh shit, I watched Ospreay and Jay White have a really great match, but I didn't see any fucking 80% of it.
Technically, we didn't see it.
Yeah.
Daniel's taking down Christian Cage after a distraction by Samoa Joe, because Samoa Joe got up because Tomko got up. Thursday at 9, we're back next week. Christian ducks the clothesline, but comes back, gets hit with a drop kick by Daniels. High knee by Daniels. Christian gets pushed into the corner. Little DVD goes for the cover, and that's a kick out at 2. A random thing I just saw recently, Bob. I'm in like a ring worn like wrestling memorabilia group.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's in this one that someone just put nice moonsault by Daniels taking out Christian springboard. Someone just posted they bought Shane Douglas's Impact interview shirt, like the yellow one.
Oh.
It says like TNA Impact and franchise. Thought that was kind of cool. I was like, damn, you don't see this kind of stuff pop up. Like TNA ring worn stuff. Kind of cool. Daniels laying in punches, but Christian counters the powerbomb and he goes for the cover. But Earl like almost questioned if he should even cover him.
Earl
Or is it Dave? Just kidding. You remember that when Dave Hebner was just here for no reason?
Wasn't he scouting?
Yeah, but
it was nothing. Like,
it was nothing.
Didn't do anything.
It meant less than Alicia taking everyone's money in the pay-per-view days, the weekly pay-per-views. Oh, the Koji clutch is locked in. Tomko gets in the ring, and Joe gets in to try to stop Tomko. But Earl Hebner is trying to stop them, and Christian looks like he's about to tap out. Well, he didn't, though. He didn't even do a fake tap out.
One of my favorite angles in the Nashville days was when like Bruce was banging the girl in the shower, and then it was just ignored.
That was a good time. And that's a 3 count after a low blow and the unprettier. Christian wins the non-title main event match here. What's our hint? Let's hear the hint. Oh, Samoa Joe gets in, and now Christian and Tomko run away.
Very well. Like they've crossed paths. Making it sound like they've crossed paths. 2007. To the audience, they're definitely going to be thinking Brock Lesnar's coming in here.
What's the hint?
A thumbs up. It's Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
But here comes Kurt. Spins Samoa Joe around. Samoa Joe has the NWA title in his hand, by the way. Remember, possession is 9/10 of the law, especially in TNA.
Wait a minute. He looked at the towel. You know who also used a towel?
Samoa Joe.
Fucking Taz.
Taz. Get out of here.
He could be fucking Christian's consultant. Taz was the first guy to beat Kurt Angle at the Royal Rumble 2000.
Okay, we didn't technically get a hint unless the towel was.
It's either if it's the towel or the thumbs up. It's either Taz or Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Bob, I technically have one more note for you. And it's kind of making me think about this consultant thing.
Okay.
As the show is about to go off the air here with the Adrenaline Rush song. Someone has been re-signed to the company. And apparently will be returning to TV soon. And I'm wondering if they're the consultant. So, if you don't want to hear this, it could potentially be a spoiler. I'd recommend that you end the episode now. Do you have a guess?
They've re-signed.
They've re-signed. They are coming back.
Who the fuck is left? I don't even know. Well, no, because Monty Brown. Monty Brown is definitely on ECW.
Yeah, he's gone. I think he's gone.
And you think it could be a consultant?
I'm wondering. I don't know if it is. I don't know if I like this idea. But there's no confirmation that it is. Just for the record, no confirmation. It's just me speculating because it's being reported. And the only reason I'm even gonna, it's reported before they're back, so I feel like we can talk about this. It's not like a spoiler. We don't know. Technically, you would have read this before any more impacts aired. So that's the way we do the notes. Okay.
All right. Who is it?
It's the big bad booty daddy, Scott Steiner. He's apparently re-signed with the company and will be returning to TV soon.
Why would he be the that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't say it. That's what I mean. That's why I don't know.
I know, but I'm saying, like, if you're thinking he's a consultant, from all the it's that he has whoever the consultant is, and technically Christian hasn't even said it's a male.
That's very true.
So I didn't even think of that. So it could just be a woman.
Yeah, so I don't really buy it that that's who it is, for the record. I'm just reporting on it because I was kind of waiting to see what the hint was going to be to see if it would kind of give it away.
Dude. I think I got it.
What's that?
I think I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be a fucking great poll if I'm right. Could it be fucking Daivari? Because Daivari managed Kurt Angle in late 05 after Muhammad Hassan on Raw. That's
a kind of a cool idea. I don't think the consultant needs to be a wrestler, and I think that's important.
My brain is just going there.
No,
it could. It could be.
But that's
Bob
what I mean.
Backlund.
He managed him though, so that makes sense to me.
Right. It could be Bob Backlund because Bob Backlund also managed Kurt Angle in 2000 for 2 months.
I don't know if I knew that.
Oh yeah, Bob Backlund was the reason why Kurt Angle defended both titles against Benoit and Jericho at WrestleMania 16, and Kurt was pissed.
That's wild. I didn't know.
Put him on the chicken wing on like Sunday Night Heat or something, and then it dissolved.
Okay, that's very interesting.
So it could be Bob Backlund.
It could be. You never know. How do you feel about that episode of Impact?
I don't know. I guess I'll say mild thumbs up. I don't know. I mean, the AJ thing was good. Like, we thought it was Raven, it was AJ. The reveal of he shot his father 3 times in the back. That's just like, come on, what can we really do with that?
We knew we were going to be disappointed with that, though. So
yeah, Christian and Daniels had a decent thing, I guess.
Yeah. I agree.
I guess it's all right.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I think I enjoyed it. It flew by. It felt like a lot was going on, but not like an overwhelming amount either. So I didn't hate that. So I would say I feel good about the show. Now, technically, we did only have 2 matches. Technically, because the Rhino thing didn't. So like that part kind of sucks, but it's okay. I think but here's the thing. Yeah. Lynn even pinning Sabin, we are moving that along. Now we have a potential new contender again for the title for Against All Odds. So I like that. The AJ and Rhino stuff has continued, and I think that was a really good twist. I really didn't expect it. I'm not sure what Daniels is. Daniels like about to try to make a play for the heavyweight division now? Is that kind of what's happening?
I don't think you can do that.
I mean, I don't either, but that promo they showed before was a little weird.
Yeah, you could be right. I don't know. Anytime that this stuff happens where they start jobbing out, it means they're going to turn. They're turning heel. So I feel like he's just going to end up turning heel for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually wouldn't. Heel Daniels would be kind of fun.
He's good as heel. So we only had 2 matches, but they did progress things. Like the consultant thing got a lot of focus.
It did.
The secret with Abyss, whether it was good or bad.
Yep.
Was the thing.
We have another match technically, the prison yard situation. Yep. So I accept that. I like the fireball, honestly. I think that was well done. Good.
Yeah, so I guess I would be leaning more towards a thumbs up.
I agree. I did not think it was a bad episode. I'm definitely looking forward to next week. We have 2 more episodes of Impact before we head to Against All Odds, which is on a date that I can't remember. February 11th. Mm-hmm. So get ready for that. We are making our way, and I am definitely looking forward to that pay-per-view.
I am as well, and I hope that everybody listening continues to join us on this journey through TNA wrestling history up until, it all shits the bed. But be sure to join us next week as we maybe find out more of a reaction from Abyss and another hint for the consultant. but there's only one way to find out, and that's to join us next week. So until next week, for Dallas Gridley, I am Bob Colling Jr., and this has been the TNA Cross the Line podcast.